Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to the Wave Cave. I am the WaveTrader, aka Stephen Carroll, and I will be taking you through my analysis of the S&P 500, aka the whole stock market, aka Bitcoin, pretty much everything that's correlated with stocks right now, which is a lot. And yes, that includes your meme stocks that a lot of you newbies are still trying to trade. So basically I'm going to tell you what it's going to be doing from now until the end of the year, like very end of the year, and on to into Q1 of next year. So if you don't want to stick around for all of it, yes, we will have a Santa rally. Yes, we're close to being at the bottom for the rest of the year, and you do with that what you will. But I am liable if I don't tell you. I am not a financial advisor. My wife is a financial advisor. She works for Fidelity. But that doesn't do us any good. If you need actual financial advice, go somewhere else, or still don't hit up the wife because she's in a tax department at Fidelity, so that it's not going to help you. But I am proud of her anyways. The Series 7 is no joke. Anyways, okay. What do you want, Siri? Alright, let's get after it. If you watched my last video, on July 26th, I predicted that the S&P 500 would top out here on this wave at 4,600, and it fell short by 0.75% of that number on the same date that I said it would peak. I didn't throw in the fact that this was the lower threshold of that resistance. The only thing difference between the 4,600 and the 4556 is whether or not you base your fib extensions on log scale or linear scale. So I actually did see that reject right off the very bottom of my resistance level, and I was able to take profit and did not go short, but I very well could have if I wanted. And I guess I'll run through and show you really quick. I won't pull up the YouTube, but you can go back and look at it and see for yourself. I even predicted the time. Not in the video, but in the comments, I predicted September 15th as the top. This is a screenshot from the video, just so you can see 4,600 is what I was looking at, and then an immediate drop down to 4224 is what it looks like. And lo and behold, we're getting pretty close to that support level, and I do think it will hold. And if it does, we have our next confluence for this wave 5 to end at 47.40. And I got that by with the confluence that I'm speaking of. It's going to be the 0.618 fib extension of this previous wave 3. Run that really quick to be sure. I'm using the magnet, and it's not always your best friend, but if you want to be exactly if you want exact numbers, use the magnet. It's worth it. Okay, so we do have confluence if it comes on down to this level, which is the 0.382 retracement of this wave 3. I have the golden pocket on there right now, but for wave 4s, your standard is going to be the 0.382 retracement. So you got hidden confluence right now for it to keep dropping until the 382, which is not very far away. Last night, whenever I started recording this, or I did record it, it just had some problems with it. We were still way up here, so now we're almost already at this support. So what did that say? Sorry, 1.4% away. Yeah, so like I said, I expect this to hold as support. The only thing is that looming debt ceiling. If we default on that, which would be the first time in history, that this whole chart would be out the window, and that's why your stop loss will come in handy no matter what system you use. But stop losses are your friend. You will probably know that if you have been trading for very long. So, like I said, that's almost perfect confluence. And when I say confluence is, it's usually whenever you're talking about an entry, it's whenever two different supports two different, I don't want to say indicators because I'm not using indicators. It's when two different tools align at the same level. So you have, like, take for instance, this 382, say that's your support for a wave 4, which it is depending on the subwaves inside of it, and say you had a second fib extension pointing at that same support zone. If that's the case, then you have Confluence. Now, that's a different lesson for a different day, but almost all my entries I look to have Confluence on if I'm going to take the trade. Take profits, you don't have to have Confluence because you can take profit anywhere, but it does give you some added confidence in knowing that you're not holding on too long and knowing that you're going to be taking the profit, getting as much profit as possible out of the trade. Okay, so if anything changes between now and Christmas or February, whichever one this ends up being, you can join my Discord and find that out from me on there. Even if you aren't trading the S&P, join my Discord and you can learn a lot of cool stuff about Elliott Wave, how I've modified it to make it my own, and why that works so much better than regular Elliott Wave. And also why Elliott Wave and Fibonacci go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly. Okay, so as you see here, we have wave 1. Okay, first of all, I don't have time to get in the ins and outs of Elliott Wave. Maybe I'll post something like right here, just like a little visual of how Elliott Wave works. But just think of going 2 steps forward, 1 step back, higher highs, higher lows, and that's basically that's Elliott Wave in a nutshell. Fractal nature of Elliott Wave is also important. Inside of each Elliott Wave, you have another Elliott Wave. So see right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming up. Inside of that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And inside of each one of these, if you were to zoom in on a lower time frame, you would have 5 and then another 5. So, and so on and so on and so forth. It reminds me of those little Chinese cup deals that you open up and then there's smaller ones in it, and you pop that one open and there's smaller ones in it, and then on and so forth. It's really the coolest thing ever. And the only thing is, most people don't ever make it to trying to learn Elliott Wave because they think it's too complicated. And in reality, not only is it not complicated, it's vital for your trading career to know. So, like I said, won't go into too much else about that. Let's look at the longer term, what we're looking at for not just, like I said, not just the S&P, but this goes for every indice and stock, momentum stock that's moving in the same direction. I mean, besides, like, say Tesla, which is, I think only up 10% this year, and it should be up quite a bit more. Besides Tesla cooling off, everything is just so correlated. After that drop of last year, it just all started its new waves at once, and it's just been so correlated. This is such an algorithm-driven market, and that's part of the reason why my system works so well. Trust me, I've tried every system in the world. I've tried every RSI, MACD, I've tried every little thing. And I wish I wouldn't have put off trying to learn Elliott Wave for as long, because if I did, I wouldn't have had to go through all those other trash lagging indicators to figure out what I know now. But luckily, you have me here to tell you that you don't have to do that, because I already did it for you. And Elliott Wave times Fibonacci is the way to go. Elliott Wave needs to be modified, and you need to know what Fibonacci's to use, how to use Fibonacci extensions, Fibonacci time zones, and on the retracements, which lines you don't need, because some of the stock ones you don't need, and then there's one line that you need the most that isn't even on a stock Fibonacci. So do they do that to trick the retail trader? I would assume so. Anyways, so I've also modified Elliott Wave because this isn't really technically, this is A, B, C, D, E. This is a 5-wave structure down, which is usually in a correction, usually A, B, C, D, E's are only contracting like wedges. But I use A, B, C, D, E to signify a 5-wave structure, corrective structure down. And I mean, I can't believe that it's not the standard. But anyways, so I predicted the bottom of this March 2020 correction, we're going to call it. I tried to promote my last video, and I said the C word too many times and associated it with a quote-unquote crash. And they said I was exploiting a crisis. So we're not going to say that. We're going to call it a correction of last year. Anyways, the correction of last year, we had A, B, C, D, and then as we were coming down on D, I know that there's going to be another 5-wave structure inside of this, and I was able to use my Fibonacci extensions to call the bottom of this correction down to the dollar. And I did the exact same thing on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's actually my cup of tea, but they also won't let me promote those videos, so that's why I can't focus on that in this one. Anyways, bottom of that to the dollar. I was the only one that called the reversal for until about freaking June 11th. And by that time we were already, it took people a while to catch on. But we still have a little bit to go in this main wave one, and then we're going to get a pretty sizable correction on into, it's going to be a pretty good hangover after this, is what I'm saying, after this year and the very first quarter of next year. And the same with the BTC market. I expect the same. What else was I going to do? I think that's it. Pretty close. You guys need to check out my free course after this. And if I'm pretty much done with my analysis, so if you don't want to stick around and listen to my what the last things I'm going to say is, at least go check out my free course. You won't be sorry. It's an actual course. It's an actual simplified strategy of what I do. And with the proper risk management, it's a strategy that's better than, say, support and resistance type strategy. If you do want to stick around, the only other thing I was going to talk about is, I know that a lot of people that are going to be watching this video are new to me. I do consider myself a mentor. I'm not your typical mentor, but I guess what I should start off doing is showing my credentials. Sorry, my trackpad died and messed me up. Credentials are my cars, first and foremost. My cars. Secondly, the wins that I screenshot. All the wins that I screenshot and show. All the losses that I hide. No, I'm just kidding. I went down the rabbit hole the other day, and these people that call themselves mentors are just so bad, and it's so obvious to me that they don't know how to trade, and all they do is post their lifestyle and never post any kind of analysis. All they do is show you their wins that may or may not even be on a live account. It's cringeworthy, honestly. If you're looking for a mentor, just use your brain, folks. I know that it's the flashy cars and whatnot. You gotta wonder, did they get those cars by trading, or did they get them from selling a course? And with me, at least, that I own my cars, and I haven't sold enough courses to pay for a car yet. I have less than 100 students so far. I haven't started advertising enough to have more than that, but out of the students I do have, at least they're happy, and maybe one day I'll buy a car with student money. But for now, my credentials are stuff like this. I took a trading account from 0.6 XBT on April 16th of last year to 3.2 XBT. XBT is a derivative of BTC. It's just the futures. Same thing. But 0.62 is like 30,000 in today's money and 160,000 in what I finished with three weeks later. So that's a 500% gain in 3 weeks, you know. And I did that. I took that account up just kind of just to showcase my talents. That wouldn't be that I wasn't using my strict risk management rules that I use on my real accounts, because if I were, maybe I can make 100% in a really good month, but I don't try to say what I'm gonna make in every month and yada yada yada. It depends on the market and it depends on how aggressive I am and everything else. But I just want to relay this, that as far as social media traders go, I'm an elite trader, and I just want to say that humbly as possible. But there's just not that many good mentors. Off the top of my head, I can think of one guy that's on YouTube. And if you have a mentor that you really like and you want me to check him out, because I don't know all of them. I know that like the dudes from Florida. That's who started this whole mentor thing. Pretty much is Q Banks and those guys. And they've turned it into a real business now. The dude owns a forex exchange and or a forex broker. He's got a forex broker, and then he's got like this prop firm that they just started to fund traders. And those are both legit companies, and he's made it into something legit, and I can get behind that. It's kind of a slimeball way to do it, by telling people that they're gonna make all this money whenever the person that's selling the shit doesn't even know how to trade. It's just kind of a sleazeball type deal that I don't really appreciate. So there's the dudes from California. There's the dudes from Florida. Oh my gosh, the dudes from England, Sean Lee and Nat. Man, those were the OG ones too. Yeah. I don't think those guys can trade at all. And if that offends you, I'm sorry. Maybe you've had a different experience, but I really think that they've been exposed really bad. I don't know if the guys from Florida have, but I've just listened to some of their analyses, and it's just mediocre at best. But I know there's good ones out there. I'm sure there's smaller ones like me who's got 3,000 followers on Instagram or whatever I've got, and they kind of up and coming, I guess you could say. But anyways, yeah, I like to separate myself from those types of mentors. But yeah, I'll close with that. A little bit about me. Just got married. It's my beautiful wife's ass more than anything. Crystal. That's us in Vegas a while back. This is called Face App. I'm not bald yet. I'm getting there slowly. So hopefully it never happens, because I look like a freaking pinhead here. I think I might do the hair transplant surgery. I know that sounds vain, but oh well, call me what you will. Anyways, she brings up the team average for sure. This is a sweet iPhone screen that I can show you how to get if you want. Oh, that's another thing. If you want to talk to me personally, you can go to my Instagram or Discord and message me, inbox me. Current students, if you need the WaveTrader home screen icon, let me know. And that's it. So look forward to talking to you if you want to shoot me a message. Peace.